Hari Om, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om. Hope everybody is doing well. So everybody knows that there is time change in US and Canada areas this week. So there is some time confusion, maybe, but we got it all sorted out. For everybody who is in India, you don't have to worry about the time change or any other changes regarding the time. Your time is 8:30 p.m. on Sunday. That is how these classes will continue for the rest of this season. So for the rest of you who tried to log in an hour before, please note from next week, it'll be at this time, whatever your local time is right now, that is when the session will start. Okay? So let's get started with our session. I hope everybody is doing good. First, let us start with our usual prayers. Please sing along with me. Can everybody hear me good? Thumbs up. Can everybody see my screen? Thumbs up.
We can see your screen fine and we can hear you fine.
Excellent. So let's please sing along with me. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. The next one is the new sloka that we are going to learn regarding Lord Krishna. So I will say 1 to 2 words. Please repeat after me. Don't worry if you miss a word or so. You will get used to it in the coming weeks. Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Falake Vakshasthale Kaustubham Nasagre Navamauktikam Karatale Venum Kare Kankanam Sarvange Harichandanancha Kalayam Kanthecha Muktavali Gopastri Pariveshtito Vijayate Gopala Chudamani. Next is a sloka to praise Vedavyasa, who wrote this amazing Bhagavatam and gave this gift to us, and also to Lord Vishnu, and also to Saraswati Devi and Arjuna also. So please repeat after me. I'm going to say 1 to 2 words, okay? Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Excellent work. These 2 slokas, we've been practicing this, so let's sing together, okay? Shyam, did you have a question before we do the prayer? Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Yeah, before like the second that sage write all like the slokas, all the mantras, slokas, stotram.
Yes, Vedavyasa, he did excellent work in the scriptures and amazing work in Indian and Hindu culture. Many scriptures, and the Bhagavatam especially is the crown jewel of one of those. And then he wrote 18 other Puranas, and he divided Vedas. He divided Vedas into 4 parts. That's how he got the name Veda Vyas. So Manas,
Okay.
I think Manas, you're doing something on the screen. Please refrain from playing with the screen so that it won't be disturbing to anybody else. So Sham, did that answer your question?
Yes. So all this prayer to Guru Brahma prayer to this prayer to that all the prayers is made by that one sage.
Most of them is from Veda Vyasa. So if you think of the three big pillars, first will be your Valmiki who gave us Ramayanam. The second are they're all same. I'm just saying the numbers. It's not a ranking. Then comes Veda Vyasa who gave the rest of the scriptures for us, and then many prayers that you hear from us and some of the prayers they also come from other gurus like our Agastya or Adi Shankaracharya. So many most part of it is coming from Veda Vyasa.
Okay.
Hari
Okay,
Om.
sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's sing together. So let's sing these two together, okay? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Excellent work. Now let's get started with our Bhagavatam session, the story session. So last week, quick recap of what we have done. First, we've seen the greatness and the magnanimity of Veda Vyasa, the ocean of literature that he has provided to us. And we talked about the greatness, the guru, that the teacher that Veda Vyasa is, and how the Bhagavatam started. After the Pandavas next generation, Abhimanyu, he died in Kurukshetra, and his son Parikshit, he, after the change, the phase change from Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga, I told the Kali is very dangerous in the sense that he can create the illusions in the mind to do the wrong things. It is very easy to do wrong things like being dishonest, being lying easily, or theft, or being rude to others. All these things are the impact of Kali. So same thing happened. Again, nothing to worry about. Even though we are in Kali Yugam, we can come across all of those and we can get away from all of those bad things by the name of the God. As many times as we can say Lord Krishna's name, Lord Rama's name, that will keep Kali away from those people who are devotees of those gods. So we don't have anything to worry about, especially you guys don't have anything to worry about, because you're great devotees of Rama, you're great devotees of Hanuman, so Kali will never come near you guys. But for Parikshit, what happened, he got impacted by Kali one time and he insulted a great sage called Shamika. And then his son Srungi, he realized that insult and he gave a curse to that king Parikshit. He said, in 7 days, you are going to get bit by the most venomous snake known to this earth and all the worlds, Takshaka. His name is called Takshak. So Takshak is going to find you, he is going to bite you, and that venom will kill you. So very harsh punishment for what he has done, maybe, but Parikshit, he took it in a good stride. He knows he has 7 days. So he said, what can I do in 7 days that will give me salvation, that will give me liberation from this worlds, and that will get me close to the God? So he found a great guru, Sukha Brahma. Everybody remembers the relationship of Sukha Brahma and Veda Vyasa?
Sir, I have a question.
Okay, Shyam, go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah, like, does Kali has a body like a heart?
he is in the air. He is everywhere in the air. He can take a form if he wants, like magically. But he is in the air. He tries to get into people who are not like great devotees, who are looking for ways for cheating and all those things. But he cannot be seen with the eye. He is not somebody who is visible to everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are in Kali. So why couldn't we see like we are inside Kali? So why couldn't we see like Kali's body parts?
We are not inside Kali. We are in Kali Yugam. This is the time zone of Kali Yugam. So he is around. He is looking for opportunity to get and impact people who are not protected by the devotion of God. Okay, so that's why he is invisible. He is trying for that opportunity, but we will never give him that opportunity, right? Yes. Okay, somebody else had a question? Somebody else raised their hands?
What does liberation mean?
Liberation means the cycle of life and all the things that goes again and again and again. So the liberation is when the life goes and mixes with the Lord. So Parikshit, for him, if you see, he has 7 days to live, and the curse of Srungi will impact him within that 7 days. So what is the best thing for him to do? For him, the best option there is to find the God, find Lord Vishnu and mix with him and be one with Lord Vishnu. So that is liberation, when somebody, whoever it is, the soul goes and mixes with the ultimate Lord Vishnu. That is called liberation. It's also called moksha. You will hear the word moksha a lot. That is called moksha in English. We translate it as liberation. It is the same thing, being one as the God.
Okay, sir, thank you.
You're welcome. Anukhya, did you have a question?
I wanted to answer your question, like who Sukha Brahma is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is he Vedavyasa's son?
Yes, he is Vedavyasa's son, and that is their relationship. So Parikshit, he found the great teacher Sukha Brahma, and he said, I have 7 days, O great master. Will you be able to provide me with the knowledge, ultimate knowledge that is there in this world? And get me close to the Lord. Then Sukha Brahma said, 7 days is a lot of time. Don't worry, I will tell you all the stories of God, and then you will find Lord and you will be one with him. The 7th day, even though the 7th day is supposed to be death for you in the hands of the Takshak, the venomous snake, it will be very easy for you. It will be a great path for you, because you will find Lord Vishnu. So then he started telling the stories of Lord Vishnu, which is Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam, we talked about it. It is 12 episodes. In this, the episodes are called Skandas. There is 332 chapters, and depending on which version you are reading, there is 16,000 to 18,000 slokas. In this session, yes, go ahead.
Yes, now the venomous snake, it was inside a fruit, right?
Yes, we'll get there. Now it is the starting of the first day. So Parikshit is just looking to get the stories of the Lord, and then he wants to get close to the God. So when we get to the 7th day, I'll tell you how he came out and what happened with Takshak. Okay?
Okay, but does he know that the snake is inside a fruit?
That also I will cover on day 7. Okay? So today he's not there yet. So let's keep him peaceful with Sukha Brahma and listening to all these great stories. Okay? So in this segment, in this season, with our sessions, we are not going to go through all the 12 episodes. We are going to pick the most prominent. I don't want to say important, because every word that Vedavyasa wrote is important. These are very famous stories that you might have heard already. We are going to cover those 3 stories. First is the story of Prahlada, and the story of the Gajendra, who is the elephant king, and the series of stories of Lord Krishna as a small child, as he is like a child just like you guys, just a kid like you guys, what he did when he was your age, and how mischievous he was, how playful he was, how he helped everybody, how he played with everybody. We are going to go through those stories of Krishna. Okay? So now let's get into this week's story, where we are going to discuss the story of Prahlada. Okay, so Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi, they reside in a place called Vaikuntham. Their abode, their place of residence is called Vaikuntham. So that is a very auspicious place, pilgrimage for everybody, and everybody wants to go there. Everybody wants to get a darshan of Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi, but it is not easy to go there and get their darshan, right? So the big golden gates to Vaikuntham, they are guarded by two strong, very strong guards. Their names are Jaya and Vijaya. So to the left, Jaya and Vijaya. They always guard those big gates of Vaikuntham, and they screen who has to go in and who can't go inside. Just like any other gate, your school has gates, there is a watchman there. You go to another place, museum, there is a watchman there. You go to another place, there is a watchman there. In the same way, Vaikuntham, but these watchmen are very strong because they are guarding Vaikuntham itself, right? So Jaya and Vijaya, and also they look beautiful, vibrant, bright, and they look just like Lord Vishnu, as beautiful as Lord Vishnu himself. So one day, as they were guarding the gate of Vaikuntham, 4 boys, their names are called Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. Those boys are always in that age, they don't grow up, they are always in that nirvana stage, because they are spiritually very strong. All they do throughout their time is think about God, chant the names of the God, and pray to God all the time. So they are blessed by Lord Brahma to always stay like little kids, and always be joyful, always be happy, and always pray to Lord Vishnu. So that is their blessing. They are always like that. So one day, therefore, so imagine the kind of knowledge they must be having. They're many years old, but they look like kids. So one day they said, okay, let's get the darshan of Lord Vishnu, and they went to Vaikuntham. So the guards there, Jaya and Vijaya, they looked at these 4 boys and they said, where are you guys going? They said, we are going to get darshan of Lord Vishnu. We are great devotees of Lord Vishnu. As you know, we are the Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. So sometimes the illusion, the magic works on people, right? So Jaya and Vijaya, the guards, they acted a little arrogant there, and they started making fun of the little boys. Who are you kids? What are you saying? You want to go into this big Vaikuntham? How is it even possible? Did you talk to your parents? Go away, and all this kind of talk, right? So they tolerated it for a little while. And the insult to Lord Vishnu's devotees, it costs. It is very expensive. So it is not supposed to be that way. And that day was a bad day for Jaya and Vijaya, that they are behaving like this to the great sages that are the Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. So after a little while of mockery and all this making jokes and everything, they turned back and they said, you are stopping us from going and taking the darshan of Lord Vishnu. Not only that, you are making fun of the devotees of Lord Vishnu. Being in such responsible place, guarding this great place like Vaikuntham, you are doing such bad job with this. So you are going to pay a price for this. We are going to curse you, saying, you are either going to take 7 lives away from Vaikuntham on the earth, being devotees of Lord Vishnu, or you can choose to take 3 lives, again and again, 3 lives, to be the staunch enemies of Lord Vishnu. In this, the second option, you will be done in 3 lives. But in the first option, you will be away from Lord Vishnu for 7 lives on earth, and you will take birth again and again for the wrongdoing that you have done. So Jaya and Vijaya, they immediately realized their mistake, and they asked for forgiveness from these great sages, and they said, forgive us. This has been a great mistake that we have done. We don't know what we were thinking. So please help us from this grave mistake that we have done. Immediately, Lord Vishnu also came out. He immediately saw what is going on, why is all this sound and noise, what's happening. Then Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana and Sanat Kumara, they prayed to Lord Vishnu and said, forgive us if we were being arrogant, or forgive us if we were being harsh. But we had to curse Jaya and Vijaya for their wrongdoing. We gave them two options. They can either be your devotees and take birth 7 times on earth, or they can be your staunch enemies, like very, 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 very harsh enemies, like they don't like you at all, that kind of enemies, and they can take 3 lives and be done with the punishment, whatever they want to do. Then Lord Vishnu said, what you have done is correct. I am not going to defend my guards, because what they have done is insult the devotees of Lord Vishnu. As important as I am, as big as I am, my devotees are also that important to me. So that punishment stands, and I am not going to negate that punishment. I leave to Jaya and Vijaya what option they want to take. Then Jaya and Vijaya, they were very, very upset and very saddened by what happened. But consequence is consequence. Once the wrongdoing has been done, Hari Om, the consequence, they have to pay for the punishment, they have to pay for the consequence, right? So then Jaya and Vijaya, they thought and they said, okay, we cannot stay away from Lord Vishnu for 7 lives. We love him so much, we love being the guards of Vaikuntham. Even if it takes to be enemy of Lord Vishnu, we will take that. We will take that with regret, we will take that as a punishment, but we want to get it over with as quickly as possible. So 3 lives it is. We will be enemies of Lord Vishnu. We will be in front of him in the battlefield, but we will be done with it quickly. We will complete the punishment as quickly as possible. So Jaya and Vijaya chose the 3 life option, being opponents, being the enemies of Lord Vishnu. Then the punishment has to be implemented, right? So the 3 sets of Jaya and Vijaya, the lives that they took. The first is Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipa. That is the story that we are going to listen to today. Those 2 demons that came as a consequence of the punishment to Jaya Vijaya first is Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipa. The next set is Ravana and Kumbhakarna in Treta Yugam. Do you guys remember the villains of Ramayana, Rama and Kumbhakarna and their story? We talked about the great story of Ravana and Kumbhakarna and how Rama came and killed them both. Thumbs up. And then in Dwapara Yugam, after Lord Krishna became big, we are going to talk about Lord Krishna's childhood stories, right? After he became big, he fought Sisupala and Dantavaktra. So those are the 2 demons that were born in Dwapara Yuga as a consequence of the curse that Jaya and Vijaya got in Vaikuntham. So if you see these demons and all the war that happened between them, it is all because of what Jaya and Vijaya, who were the guards of Vaikuntham, they have done to insult the devotees of Lord Vishnu. That is all where it started. Okay? Everybody clear so far what happened, where it all started? Anybody has any questions with this? Okay. Excellent. So now we are going to today talk about Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipa. Those 2 are twins. Twin brothers, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipa. They're born to Kashyapa Prajapati and Diti. So the mother of all demons is Diti. The mother of all gods is Aditi. It's only the name difference is A. Diti is the mother of all demons. Aditi with an A in front of Diti, Aditi, is the mother of all gods. Okay. So she gave birth to 2 twins, twin brothers, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipa. Because they are the form of Jaya and Vijaya, you can imagine how strong they are. And they're born to Kashyapa Prajapati. He is also very, very spiritual. He's very strong. So they got his strength also, the spiritual powers, and they're very, very, very strong. Meanwhile, while this is all happening, Lord, when the world comes to an end and when he has to create the world again, the world, earth as we know, in after the life is over and everything is done and the world comes to an end, the world submerges into the water. The entire earth and all the worlds, it is filled with water and it goes deep into the water. So Lord, again, after a few years, he decides, okay, let's start life again. Let's begin the new life with all the planets, and sun starts shining bright, and earth, he has to start the earth with the life, with the greenery, with the plants, with the seeds, with the animals, everything. He restarts the entire process. But the earth is in the water, submerged deep into the ocean. So when he wanted to start the life and the earth and everything with the new beginning, all the gods, they went to Lord Vishnu and said, earth is nowhere to be found. It is deep, deep, deep in the water. We don't know how to get the earth out and how to bring back the life into its form that we know of. Then he said, okay, don't worry, I have a plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take an incarnation. Incarnation is an avatar. Lord Vishnu took different avatars, different forms. Whenever the world needed him, whenever evil came out in big forms, he came in different forms, like Rama, Krishna, like different forms he took, right? So he took the form of a wild boar. Everybody knows what a wild boar is? Okay.
I don't know.
No worries. That is a wild boar right there. Everybody can see. So the wild boar is it has like for a lack of a word, like a face of a pig, a very huge body. You can imagine like 5-6 times the normal size of a pig. And it has the horns coming out of the nose. The front of the face will be protruding out with 2 horns coming out. Okay. And that is the normal animal form of a wild boar. Okay. But Lord Vishnu took the form of a wild boar. He will look magnificent. He will look amazing. And this picture does a little bit of justice to it. You can see how amazing it is, right? So the artist made justice to it. So he took the form of a wild boar, a very big wild boar, very strong. And he went deep into the waters. So with the nose protruding out and with the 2 horns coming out, like the horns coming out, he went in, he looked everywhere and he found earth. How does he bring it out then? Then he went and he placed it on his nose, the protruding part right here, and he locked it with his 2 horns. And he came out along with the earth out there and he put it in the orbit that we know right now. So that is how the earth came out from the deep waters when Lord Vishnu took the avatar of the wild boar, which is called Varaha avatar. Varaham means wild boar in Sanskrit. So this avatar is called Varaha avatar. Okay. So he brought this earth out and earth was very happy. So the earth representation, like, if you think of gods, earth is represented as a female because she is the mother. Earth, because earth is who gives us food. Earth is who gives us place to live. Earth is who gives us everything that we need. Water to drink. All the things that come out of the earth that we make different things out of. So earth is represented as a female. She is the mother earth. So she was very happy that Vishnu came himself, found her inside the deep waters, brought her out and started the new life. Shyam, did you have a question?
Yes. This is Vishnu, right?
That is Vishnu. That is one of the forms of Vishnu. So if you think the Vishnu has many forms. So if you say Vishnu looks like this in the left side originally, Rama, he looks like a human with 2 hands. Right? Krishna, he looks like a human too, with a disc in his hand and with the flute in his other hand. This is another form which looks like a wild boar, a Varaha avatar. And in this story itself, we are going to look at another form which will be even more magnificent than this form. Okay? Towards the end, that form will come towards the end. Okay? So this Varaha avataram took place and the world started to come up again, and all the life as we know today, it all started blooming because of this great avatar. So meanwhile, the Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipa, they started growing up and they became very strong. So they too are twin brothers. They're starting to rule the entire world. They got big boons from Lord Brahma, and they said, like, we want to be invincible, we want to defeat everybody. They got all those blessings from Lord Brahma. And once you have that kind of strength, what do you do first? From the pattern of these stories, the demons first, they target the gods. They went and they challenged the gods. Hiranyaksha, the younger brother, he said, okay, I want to fight with you, Indra. I want to fight with you, Agni. I want to fight with you, ocean god. So he challenged everybody. He won with everybody. And then one day he went to the water god and he said, fight with me. Show me what kind of strength you got. Because he has all the strength. When you have the strength, you have to show it to somebody. It's like kickboxing. You have to kick somebody, right? So he said, Varuna Deva, who is the water god, he said, no way, I cannot fight you. You have too much strength and you have too many boons. But there is one guy who's in the waters right now. He came out as a Varaha Avataram to protect the earth. He is still in the waters. He will be a good match for you. If you want to do that fighting, that is a good person to go and challenge. So why don't you go into the deep ocean where Lord Vishnu is right now in the form of Varaha and fight with him. So your wish to fight with a great strong person will be fulfilled that way. So that's all he's looking for, to fight with somebody. In Ramayana also we saw these characters like Dundubhi and Mayavi who just wants to fight for no reason. Same thing with Hiranyaksha also. He said, okay, where is this ocean? And he went and he got into the ocean and he started searching for this wild boar Varaha everywhere. So he found him and he challenged him. Okay, come on, they say you are very, very strong. Show me what you got. And then we are going to fight, and whoever wins this will win the challenge, and they get the bragging rights and they get to rule the world and all these things. But the problem is he is challenging Lord Vishnu. He had no idea what kind of strength Lord Vishnu has, right? So there was a little bit of fight, there was struggle. He threw some punches, he threw some weapons, he defended a little bit. So Lord Vishnu, it's like a father entertaining his son in a fight, saying, okay, a little bit, why don't you push me a little bit, I'm okay with that kind of thing. Then finally he said, enough is enough. Hiranyaksha, you'll be done now. He took out his big mace and he hit him on his head, and Hiranyaksha died right there. All for what? He had all these boons. He is the king of Kashyapa. He is the son of Kashyapa Prajapati. He has a very, very strong brother, Hiranyakasipa. He is ruling the world. What did he do to himself? He went and challenged everybody to fight. He went and challenged the wrong person, that is the Vishnu's form, Varaha Avataram. What happened? He died. That is what happens, like, the ego, the greed, the false arrogance, all these things led to his death. So that is the end of one of the twin brothers, Hiranyaksha. So the other twin brother, Hiranyakasipa, he got the news. He heard that his brother died in the hands of a wild boar who is the form of Lord Vishnu. So automatically what happened? He started building this enmity with Lord Vishnu. And that is the curse that they got from Sanaka Sanandanadulu, right? So they said, you are going to be staunch enemies of Lord Vishnu in all three lives. And that has to happen. So he built this enmity with him and he said, okay, I have to do something. I have to get my revenge against Lord Vishnu for what he has done to my brother. What do I do? How do I become stronger than him? Then he said, okay, I'm going to do tapas for Lord Brahma. Once I have Lord Brahma's blessings, I will ask for something that will make me invincible, that will make me undefeatable, that will make me immortal. Then he went and he did his tapas for years and years and years. He did amazing tapas that nobody has done until then. So he stood on his toe, only the big toe, for years. Without eating, without drinking, only on one finger. He stood on one finger and he put fire around him and he stood there for years and he became like a skeleton because there is no food, no water. He's just living on the spiritual strength. He became like a skeleton and all the ants and snakes and everything, they came and they surrounded him for years and years. He did tapas with great focus that nothing could stop him. He did not get distracted. He did not lose focus. He just stood there no matter what happened. Ant is coming and biting him, doesn't matter. Snake is coming and biting him, doesn't matter. He's hungry, doesn't matter. He's thirsty, doesn't matter. So after years and years of tapas, this big fumes started coming from his body. That fumes, because of the strength of his tapas, they started going around the entire world and making very strong heat waves. So then all the gods went to Lord Brahma and said, Hiranyakasipa is doing this great tapas. You have to go and you have to ask him to stop this. You have to grant him whatever he asks. Otherwise, these fumes are going to go around the entire universe and they're going to cause these heat waves everywhere. So Lord Brahma, he came and he said, okay, Hiranyakasipa, what do you want? Whatever your wish is, I will grant you that wish. Tell me what you want. Then Hiranyakasipa, he said, first he prayed to Lord Brahma. Remember how Ravana asked, I want to be immortal? I want to be immortal in the sense, no death. So first, all the demons, the first question, first wish that they ask is, no death. Again, Hiranyakasipa, he knows that Lord Brahma, he will not agree to that wish. He will say no to it. So he has to ask something which is very close to not getting killed, no death kind of situation, right? So he said, give me a wish where I will not be killed in air, in water, in fire, in sky, inside a house, outside a house, with weapons, without weapons, with humans, by gods, by animals. Like this, he gave a big list of menu. All these exceptions, I should not be killed by any of these things. Give me a wish like that. So he thought, like, I've made a very concrete wish. Nobody will be able to kill by then. Remember, Ravana also thought the same thing. He asked for immortality, not being killed by every being that there is, but he left two beings, monkeys and humans. Lord knows how to get there and what to accomplish, right? So he took the form of a human, that is Rama, and he finished the job. Same thing here also will happen, but Hiranyakasipa, he thought, oh man, this is the best framework that there is. There is no way somebody can take a form like this and kill me. So he asked for all these things and Lord Brahma said, okay, so be it. I'll give you the wish. You will not be killed by all these things in the air, in water, in fire, in the sky, by humans, by animals, with weapons, without weapons, all these things I grant you. As soon as so before that, when he went out for the tapas, it took years and years to do the tapas, right? So immediately Indra realized that Hiranyakasipa is out there to do this tapas and he is going to come after the gods as soon as he gets all these boons. So what he did, he went to his kingdom and he captured his wife. His wife's name is Leelavati. At that time, Leelavati is pregnant. She is carrying Hiranyakasipa's child in her tummy and she was pregnant. Indra, he said, if I let her live, she will give birth to another child who will be as bad as Hiranyakasipa. Let him do his tapas wherever he is doing, but I am not going to let her live and give birth to another demon. That is not going to happen. He will be an enemy of gods again. It is all nuisance. Let's just kill him as a seed. Then sage Narada, he came there and he said, you're doing a grave mistake, Indra, who is in the tummy of Leelavati, wife of Hiranyakasipa, is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Do not do this mistake. Go away from here and let Leelavati be in my custody. I will teach her everything. You do not do this grave mistake and hurt the great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Then he took her to his ashram and he started telling the great stories of Lord Vishnu. Leelavati seems to be listening to all those stories, but nothing went into her brain. She did not become a great devotee of Lord Vishnu after listening to all this. You know who became a great devotee? The small seed that is in the tummy of the small seed that is in the tummy of Leelavati. The small baby that is growing in the tummy of Leelavati, that baby heard all these stories and he became a great devotee of Lord Vishnu from inside the tummy. So that is the design too. That's he knows. Narada knows that that is how he will learn, and that is how he will become a great devotee, right? So meanwhile, Hiranyakasipa, he got all the boons that he asked from Brahma, and he became the strongest leader the universe has ever seen. As soon as they got all this, like the demons get these wishes come true, they become really, really strong. They become the great leader of all these armies of demons. And what do they do first? They go against the gods. They go to Swargam. They conquer the kingdom of Indra. They go to the oceans. They conquer the kingdom of Varuna. They go to other areas, other universal celestial places, and they conquer all those places and they become the universal king, right? That's exactly what Hiranyakasipa did, no exception. In his case, he went one more step ahead. He said, my brother was killed by a person named Vishnu. Where will I find this person? I want to battle him because now I am so strong I cannot be killed by anybody, not even by gods. And he is a god. I'm going to kill him and I'm going to fight him and I'm going to win that battle. But Lord Vishnu, he said, okay, you still have time on the earth. I'm not going to kill you yet. I'm not going to fight you yet. He moved away from Vaikuntham and Hiranyakasipa could not find Vishnu anywhere. Shyam, did you have a question?
Yes, sir. Why is that so many slokas when all the gods are the same?
All the gods are the same, but they are in different forms. So I'll give you an example. It's the same stomach, it's the same food, it goes in and it becomes the same energy. But why do you have so many different kinds of food? You want to eat pizza one day, you want to eat yogurt rice one day, you want to eat burger one day, you want to eat french fries one day, you want to eat pulihara one day. Why all these different kinds of food? It is all becoming the same kind of energy once it goes inside, right? So for the perception of us, we want to see different forms. We will connect to those forms in different ways. So that is why there is different forms of God, but one universal Lord. Okay? All right. It's a good question. So continuing the story, he became very strong and he started ruling all the worlds. And Vishnu at this point, even though he is very strong and he can defeat him, he is avoiding Hiranyakasipa at this point. He is not being found by Hiranyakasipa for the battle. As it was like that, Prahlada grew up to be a little boy. So similar to you guys, okay? So same age as you people. He's a small kid, very sharp, very talented. He can learn anything in one by looking at it once. He is very respectful to elders. It is like, all the people that are in the kingdom of Hiranyakasipa, they're very surprised to see Prahlada for his good behavior being born to the king Hiranyakasipa, who is a demon himself. What would they expect? They expect somebody like a demon qualities, who is very rude, who is very harsh, who is very violent. But Prahlada is opposite. He is always doing namaskaram to all the elders. He is always polite to everybody. He is always nice to everybody. He is always following the rules. He is talking about dharma. So they're all worried. Oh, what is this? The king, the future king of the demon lineage, and he is like this, very soft. What is happening here? So Hiranyakasipa also, he was worried. What is happening to my son? He's so soft and he's not like any other demons. So he called teachers. He said, take my son to your Gurukulam. Work with him, keep him there, teach him all the ways of how our kingdom works, how demons work. Teach him that I am the ultimate God. Teach him all the mantras about me. Teach him how to be the future king of this demon hierarchy. Then the gurus, they are very scared of the king. He is a very ruthless king. So he said, okay, we will do our best. We will teach him everything that we know, and we will teach him your greatness, and especially your enmity to Lord Vishnu. We will teach him everything that we have to. Then they took him to the Gurukulam. They taught him all the subjects. And like I said, he is Ekasantagrahi. Ekasantagrahi means only one time. If somebody says something, or if he reads something, if he looks at something, he can remember. Photographic memory. He learned everything in minutes. And then he was very polite to the teachers. He was very polite to his fellow classmates. Everything like the ideal student, Prahlada. Okay. Did I mention his name? His name is Prahlada. He is the son of Hiranyakasipa. Even though he was born in the demon lineage, he is very soft, very nice, and very, very, very great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Then one day he called the teachers and he said, okay, I want to know what Prahlada had learned so far. Display his knowledge to me. Then Prahlada came, he told some things about criminal justice, he told some things about administration, he told some things about the kingdom, all those things. And then he started saying slokas about Lord Vishnu. Those were not in the academic curriculum of the gurus. He learned them himself. When did he learn? When he was in the stomach of Leelavati, and when Narada taught all these things, he learned from when he was a little baby inside his mother's stomach. That was not in the academic curriculum. And as soon as Hiranyakasipa heard the praises of Lord Vishnu and the slokas of Lord Vishnu, if it was somebody else, he would have cut his throat. But coming from his own son, he was very, very, very angry. Raging anger, Hiranyakasipa went into, and first he blamed the teachers. He said, what are you guys doing? I thought, I wanted you guys to teach him the ways of the demon lineage, and you are teaching him about Lord Vishnu. If you guys continue like this, I'm going to give death sentence to both of you. Take him back again, undo the damage that you have done. Whatever he has learnt about Lord Vishnu so far, undo all that. And teach him about the Rakshasas, about the demons, about our ways, about our heritage. And those two teachers, they were trembling, they were shaking with fear, and they said, okay, we are going to do our best. And they had no idea where Prahlada learnt all these things. They didn't know what to do. Again, they came back to the Gurukulam. Again, they put special classes for him. They put special focus on him. All the time there was somebody sitting with him teaching the ways of Hiranyakasipa, teaching the ways of Rakshasas, teaching the ways of demons, bad-mouthing Lord Vishnu, talking bad things about Lord Vishnu. But he is so strong in his devotion to Lord Vishnu, none of those things impacted him. It seemed like he is listening to the gurus. It seemed like he is listening and hanging on to every word that they are saying. But his devotion to Lord Vishnu is overtaking all those things that they are saying. So one day what happened, the two gurus along with his disciples, the main administrative folks, they had some work outside. So they all left the students in the ashram and they went out to take care of business. So Prahlada and the other students were sitting. So then Prahlada got up and he started talking. He said, what are you guys doing? You know how much time you are wasting. You don't know anything about Lord Vishnu. You don't know anything about the God. You're learning about the same things, about the world, about the materialistic things, which will not be of any use once the life is over. What will come to use is the God. Who will be able to help you is the Lord. That is Lord Vishnu. And he started preaching everything that he has learned from Narada. So all the students, they started listening to him. They started learning about Lord Vishnu. And one of the students, they got up and they said, how do you know about all these things? There is nobody to tell about these things here. Our gurus never taught you all these things. How did you learn? How do you know about these things? Then he said, when my mother was carrying me in her tummy, sage Narada, he taught her all these things. But eventually, after giving birth to me, she forgot about all these things. But I remember all of them. That is the ultimate truth about Lord Vishnu, and he is the only protector. So they all became staunch devotees of Lord Vishnu, and they started dancing, they started singing songs about Krishna, they started singing songs about Rama, they started singing songs about Vishnu, and they were very, very happy. They were chanting, they were praising the name of the Lord. Guess who came in when they were doing all this about Lord Vishnu? The gurus came back after their work is done. They heard all these songs. They saw that not only Prahlada is impacted by it, he is spreading the name of Vishnu to the other students also. So if Hiranyakasipa gets to know this, what will happen to them? Death sentence, right? So they were scared. They were trembling with fear. So first thing they said, okay, if we cannot teach to Prahlada, so be it. We will put our hands up. We will say we cannot teach to your sons. If he starts telling this to all the other students in the Gurukulam, it will be a big problem for us. What we will do, let's take him back to Hiranyakasipa. Let's tell him this is not something that we can do and what all he is doing. So they went to Hiranyakasipa. They complained to Hiranyakasipa about Prahlada. They said, we cannot do anything. We are doing all the right things. But for some reason, he is a big devotee of Lord Vishnu. Not only he is praying to Lord Vishnu, he is making everybody else around him pray to Lord Vishnu. So you stop him somehow. We don't know. We are not responsible. So Hiranyakasipa was very, very, very angry. He said, okay, I'm going to take care of you. You both are excused. I'm going to excuse you both. And Prahlada, I'm going to give you last warning. Are you going to change your ways and become an enemy of Lord Vishnu? Otherwise, I am saying Lord, he would never say that. But he said, become an enemy of Vishnu just like me. Otherwise, I'm going to give a death sentence to you. His own son, he wants to give death sentence. That is the Rakshasa, that is the demonness, right? Same thing we saw with Ravana. It doesn't matter if Sita Devi is crying. It doesn't matter if so many people are impacted. His greed is his greed, that's it. Same thing with Hiranyakasipa. His arrogance, his ego is, that's it. Even a small kid, his own son, it doesn't matter. He wants to give death sentence to him. Prahlada said, so be it. If you want to give death sentence, go ahead and give me. But Lord Vishnu is within me. I am a part of Lord Vishnu. You cannot separate us. I am a devotee of him. I will be, and there is nothing you can do to stop. And I urge you to become a devotee of Lord Vishnu also. That is it. He got really, really angry. How dare you tell me to become a devotee of Lord Vishnu? I sentence you to death right now. He called upon all his chief commanders, very, very strong, and all the scary commanders. And they said, take him, give him the harshest punishment that there is, so that he gets killed. I don't want to see him anymore. He is a disgrace to our community. So just implement the death sentence on him. So they were very scared, but they have to follow the orders of the king. So they took him and they put him on a ground and they made big elephants walk on him. But nothing happened to it. It was like a something that is made of rubber, like a sponge. Nothing got impacted. The elephant put its foot on Prahlada and the elephant moved away, but Prahlada is just like himself. He didn't get a little bit of scratch also. He didn't get hurt. He was just praying to Lord Vishnu. Not even a little scratch, not even a little hurt, nothing. The elephant could not hurt Prahlada at all. Then they took him onto a big cliff atop of the mountain and they pushed him from there. The little boy Prahlada, harsh punishments that they are giving, these monster demons, they pushed him from there, and Lord Vishnu, he is standing there protecting his devotee everywhere. When the elephants came, he stood there saying, this elephant cannot hurt Prahlada. When they threw him off the cliff, he was under the cliff, catching hold of Prahlada and bringing him back to life. And then they took sharp weapons like the swords, like the spears, and they poked him, but they couldn't even scratch his skin. They put him inside the den with thousands of venomous snakes. But the venomous snakes, they could not do anything to Prahlada because they know that he is being protected by Lord Vishnu. They didn't even come close to him. They didn't even touch him. Nothing happened to him. So all this news is going back to Hiranyakasipa saying, we are not able to do anything to your son. We cannot implement your punishment. You do something about it. Then he called his sister Holika. You all know about this festival that is coming up in March 18th. So we celebrate a festival called Holi, where we spread joyous colors, and we go around and we smear colors on each other with joy. So that festival is related to this, where Hiranyakasipa's sister Holika, she is this demon, is very, very dangerous demoness. So she said, brother, don't worry, I got this. I'm going to take care of this death sentence, and I'm going to punish Prahlada for you. Then she said, I am very strong and fire cannot impact me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry him and go inside the fire, but the fire will not impact me, but it will burn Prahlada into ashes. That was her big plan. Sorry?
But Holika will burn and Prahlada will be alive.
Correct. So he is being protected by the blessings of Lord Vishnu. So the fire god did not even touch him. Remember in Sundarakanda, Lord Hanuman, he jumps from building to building. His tail was put on fire. And Lord Sita Devi, she prays to fire god saying, do not impact Hanuman and his tail. Be cool on him. And fire god obliges to her request, and he does not impact him at all. In the same way, fire god, he knows that Prahlada is a staunch devotee of Lord Vishnu, so he doesn't touch him at all, not even a scratch, not even a little burn at all. But Holika, she gets consumed by that fire and she turns into ashes. To celebrate the death of Holika, who is represented by evil, and to celebrate the victory of Prahlada and Vishnu, we celebrate the festival Holi. So this March 18th, when you guys are celebrating Holi, think of Holika and think of Prahlada and think of Lord Vishnu. Okay? So that is the festival Holi, and that is how Holika got burnt and got punished instead of Prahlada. So again, Hiranyakasipa, he didn't know what to do. He called upon Prahlada. He said again, I'm going to give you one last warning. Change your ways, or you will die. I myself will take things into hand, and I will fight you and I will kill you. Or even better, I give you another option. You are saying you are a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, right? So show me where Vishnu is. I will fight with him. I've been waiting for so long to fight with him. I couldn't find him anywhere. If you are such a great devotee, call him and we will fight together, and I will win that battle, and I will show you once for all who is superior, who is to be prayed to. And then he challenged Prahlada. So Prahlada, he said, he is everywhere. What do you mean call him? He is not somewhere else to call him from somewhere. Even wherever you see around, inside this entire world, inside this building, inside that pillar, inside you, inside your throne, inside your crown, he is everywhere. So once I join my hands and call him, he'll come out. Even from, so Hiranyakasipa said, do you think he's in this pillar? Then Prahlada said, yes, he is inside the pillar too. Call him out right now and I'm going to fight with him. So Hiranyakasipa, he took out his big mace and he struck the pillar that there is, and a bright light, very, very bright light, just like the sun, that came out of the pillar. From that pillar came out this very, very, very unique form, never seen before, never heard of before. Again, an avatar of Lord Vishnu. We saw the wild boar avatar before for his brother Hiranyaksha. Now this form is called Narasimhavitar. Narasimhavitar means Nara means human, Simha means lion. Together, he has the body of a human and face of a lion. And he came out with this brilliance like sunshine. He is so bright, and he came out from that pillar, and he is holding so many weapons ready to fight Hiranyakasipa. Why? Because he is trying to punish his devotee, that is Prahlada. That is how he comes out from anywhere, from nowhere, if his devotees are in trouble. That is the greatness of Lord Vishnu. So he came out in this huge form, very bright and dangerous form, and he started fighting with Hiranyakasipa. And that fight did not last long, because look at Lord Narasimha, right? He is the form of human and he is the form of lion, and within no time he overpowered Hiranyakasipa. He lifted him with his hands and he put him on his lap, and with his nails he tore his stomach and he killed Hiranyakasipa. So what is the boon that Hiranyakasipa asked for? He cannot be killed in air, he cannot be killed in water, he cannot be killed in the fire, he cannot be killed in the sky. He's nowhere. He's not in the air, he's not in the ground, he's not in the sky, he's not in water, he's not in fire. He's on the lap of Lord Vishnu, that is the Narasimha. He cannot be killed by humans, he cannot be killed by animals. This form, is he a human? No, he is not, because he has the face of a lion. Is he an animal? No, he is not, because he has the form, body of a human. Is he being killed by a weapon? No, he is being killed by nails. Is he being killed inside the house, outside the house? No, he is being killed on the entryway. So everything that he asked, the protection against, Narasimha, Lord Narasimha, he took care of all the clauses and he killed Hiranyakasipa right there. So Lord has a way to kill the evil and protect the good always, right? So that is how this great form of Narasimha, which is the form of human and lion, that came as an avatar of Vishnu and protected Prahlada and killed Hiranyakasipa. So then Prahlada, he came to Narasimha, he started praying to him, and all the gods along with Lakshmi Devi, they were so scared of Lord Narasimha, because he was very, very scared to look at, with that very furious lion face, with the blood flowing from his hands, with the corpse of dead body of Hiranyakasipa hanging on his lap. Everybody was really, really scared to go near him, even Lakshmi Devi. So there was nobody to cool him down, to cool his anger down. So finally they asked Prahlada, they said, only you can cool him down. Why don't you go and ask him to cool down and moderate his anger? Then Prahlada, he went and he asked the Lord to help everybody by reducing his anger, because everybody was not able to tolerate his anger. They are not able to look at him being so furious. So he became very, very, very gentle. The big lion, the face of this furious form, he became very gentle, like the little teddy bear. He became very protective of Prahlada. He took him in his lap, he gave him a hug, and he said, do not worry, I am only furious towards my enemies. My enemies are those who are ill-treating the Vedas, who are ill-treating my devotees. But those who are my devotees, the gods and everybody else, I protect them all the time, and I will protect you also. Tell me what you want, I will grant any wish of yours. Then he said, even though he is your enemy, he is my father. So you killed him in a very, very, very furious manner. Give him the wish of, give him the blessing of moksha. Moksha means again the liberation, being one with the God, right? So the bright light from the body of Hiranyakasipa, the light, the soul, it came up at once and it got mixed in the Lord Narasimha's body. So that means the soul of Hiranyakasipa, even though he's bad, even though he's an enemy of enemy, even though he's an enemy of Lord Vishnu, it got mixed in Lord Vishnu. Because Lord Prahlada, he's a great devotee, and he asked for moksha for his father. Great thing to ask, right? He didn't ask for money, he didn't ask for strength, he didn't ask for immortality like everybody else asked. He asked for liberation for his father. That is the great son, that is Prahlada. And always have to remember, he is one of the best devotees. In the story of Ramayana, we talked about Hanuman and how great a devotee he is to Lord Vishnu and Lord Rama, right? He is in the same ranks. So you can imagine, if Prahlada is comparable to Lord Hanuman, how great a devotee he is. So it is a great honor, and I'm very, very happy all the time whenever I talk about Prahlada and the story of Prahlada, especially to you kids, because he is the kid just like you guys. And just like you guys, he is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. So I'm always happy to tell the story of Prahlada to you folks, okay? So that is the great story of Prahlada. After the Hiranyakasipa, he became the king of the entire kingdom of the demons. And unlike Hiranyakasipa, he ruled the earth and the universes in a very, very honorable manner. he encouraged everybody to do the prayers, do the yajnas and yagas like they should be doing, and he ruled the earth for many, many, many years. So that is the great story of Prahlada. We went beyond our time limit a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recite the two slokas by myself. So just follow the words, and next week we are going to do the learning session. Okay, fair enough? Okay. Anybody with questions? Let's finish the slokas and then I'll come to you for questions. Okay. So let's do the Krishnastakam. This is the Krishnastakam. This is written by Adi Shankaracharya, Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya, and it is 8 verses with the praises of Lord Krishna. Okay. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Atasi Pushpa Sankasham Hara Nupura Shobhitam Ratna Kankana Keyuram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So those are the first 2 verses of Krishnastakam. So the commonality in all the verses is Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. That means I pray to Lord Krishna, who is the teacher of the entire universe. So you learned this already. So you've learned 1/3 of the sloka as a stotram already. So next week we will do the word-to-word recital. Okay. So the next segment is the Mangala Shasanam, which is wishing the best for the entire world. So especially keep your prayers for the people in Ukraine. Also, they're getting impacted by the war. So let's pray for them also, and peace everywhere. Okay. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. If anybody has any questions, stay back. I will answer your questions. I will do my best to answer your questions. For everybody else, if you don't have any questions, Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. You're free to leave now. With anybody with questions, you can stay back. Shyam, you have a question?
Hi, sir.
Hari Om.
Bye, sir.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Bye, Hari Om. Bye, Hari Om. See you. Tanishka, did you have a question?
Thank you, sir. Bye. Yeah,
Bye.
will class be at 8 or 7 because daylight saving?
Yes, today is daylight savings, right? So for everybody, please keep in mind that the time will be India time 8:30. So it will be 8 o'clock. So you are in Western zone. So your time will be at 8 o'clock, Tanishka.
Okay.
Going forward, okay?
Bye.
Bye, Hari Om. Shyam, did you have a question?
Yes, sir. Why is Narasimha not a male? Actually, why is Narasimha not a female?
Narasimha is we cannot consider him as a complete human also, right? Humans don't have the face of a lion, do they?
No.
So he is a different creature. We cannot put him in humans. We have to say Narasimha, which is the mixed combination of human and lion, right?
Yes, but why is he not a female instead of a male?
So if we have to give a gender to that god, it is to be a male. So that form is considered to be a male form, and always Lakshmi Devi will be the female form for the god Narasimha, which is the Lakshmi Devi. Okay. Moksha, did you have a question?
No, sir. Sir, I am telling that I learned the Krishna Ashtakams.
Hey, did you? Very good. Good job, Moksha. So once we finish this, you know what you can do? One of the sessions, you can lead the recital for all of us. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Hari Om, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Anybody else? Any questions? All right. If we don't have any other questions, let's conclude our session here. Let's meet again next week, same time. Hari Om.